Hey, let me tell you about the day that I learned that being on time can actually make you a failure. So, I'd heard this story about a surgeon that ended up missing his daughter's piano recital. And he missed it because he was scrubbing in for an emergency surgery because this child's life was hanging in the balance. Now, he could have been on time for that recital. He could have told somebody at the OR to find somebody else. But instead, what he did was he chose effective over punctual. That little girl lived. And his daughter? Well, she understood this that sometimes love looks like choosing what matters most, not what's scheduled next. We've become slaves to a clock. We race through yellow lights to be 3 minutes less late, cutting conversations short because there's another meeting to get to, choosing punctuality over presence. We're so obsessed with respecting time that we've forgotten to respect impact. And here's what nobody talks about. Some of the most successful people I know are strategically late, not carelessly late, but strategically late. They know that finishing the conversation that could change somebody's life is more important than being on time for a status update. They understand that 5 minutes extra perfecting their proposal, it's going to beat being punctual and being mediocre. And so if you can imagine an employee that was late every morning by 15 minutes, guess what? HR is probably going to want to fire him, right? But this man, he stayed 3 hours late every day after everybody else left, solving problems nobody else wanted to solve. He produced twice the results of the punctual people. Was he disrespecting time or was he respecting effectiveness? Now, I do want to be clear about this. Chronic lateness that comes from being disorganized, disrespectful, or not valuing others, that's just theft. You're stealing people's most precious resource. But there's a difference between being carelessly late and being purposefully effective. If you think about Jesus, for example, he was 3 days late to heal Lazarus. And everybody thought that he'd fail. Mary and Martha were devastated. But the truth of the matter is, in the story, he wasn't late. He was effective. He didn't come to heal a sick man. He came to raise a man from the dead. And sometimes being late is actually being right on time for the miracle. It's like that executive who took 10 minutes more and was late because she took a call from a suicidal employee. She's not late. She's effective. The father that misses the meeting, start of the meeting because his son needed to hear, I believe in you before his test. He's not late either. He's effective. That leader who delays the presentation to get the facts right instead of being on time with the wrong information, they're not late either. They're effective. We've created a culture where being on time to meaningless obligations is valued more than being effective at meaningful ones. We reward people who show up punctually, but produce nothing over those who arrive when ready but deliver excellence. And here's the brutal truth. Most meetings, they actually should be emails. Most of what we're racing to be on time for, it doesn't matter. We're punctual to the trivial and we're late to the transformational. We're on time to scroll social media, but we're late to pursue our dreams. We're punctual to comfort, but late to be courageous. And I heard this from a mentor one time. I'm never on time. I'm either early because it matters or I'm late because something else mattered more, but I'm always effective. So here's my challenge to you. Stop asking, am I on time? And start asking, am I effective? Stop racing to be punctual to commitments that don't align with your purpose. Start being strategically present for moments that matter. Now, yes, respect people's time. Yes, honor your word. But understand this, being 5 minutes late to deliver excellence beats being on time with excuses. Finishing those crucial conversations, it beats starting the unnecessary meeting. Being where you're needed most beats being where you're expected next. The graveyard is full of people who were never late to anything except their own dreams. They were punctual to everybody else's priorities and late to their own purpose. They respected everyone else's time except their own. And time isn't just about minutes, it's about moments. And sometimes the most important moment isn't the one on your calendar, it's the one standing right in front of you. Be on time when it matters. Be effective when it counts. Know the difference, because at the end of your life, nobody's going to remember if you were punctual. They're going to remember if you were present. So you got to stop being on time to life, or your life, or a life that's not yours. Start being effective at the life you're meant to live.